Look at the beautiful Motor City today.
Yes.
All gas, no brakes. Bam! There you see it, the final score. Lions getting a huge dub over the Arizona Cardinals, 30-12 here in Week 15. The Cardinals coming on the road, they were undefeated, looking for their 8th victory, not at home, and the Lions shut them down. Alongside Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Man, can we do our wind dance? We've only done it twice this year.
I know.
Break it down. Do it.
This way?
Break it down.
This way? This way? We dancing.
We've done this before, fam. We've been here before. Hey. What an incredible win.
My God.
Okay, it started off a little rough.
Right.
That Goff sack. That was really the only time that this Lions team felt down. The rest of the way, 4 quarters was pretty dang solid.
Best 4 quarters the Lions have put together, period, this whole year. So impressed with them. But Danny, that defense, OMG. Our defense kicked butt all day long, going up against that offense, all those weapons they had, Kyler Murray, all those guys over there, and we just kicked their butt today. I'm just so proud of the defense, proud of the offense, just proud of the team, period, for the way they played and played hard.
Let's see how proud head coach Dan Campbell is of his team. He is standing by at the podium now.
Really in all 3 phases across the board. The minute it felt like something may go the wrong way, we were able to tilt it back into our favor. And I was proud of those guys. Golly, man, we showed up. And next man up mentality, the next man up did a good job today, across the board. But as a team, I was proud of them.
That resilience that you talked about, it's something that maybe you've been building towards all season, but especially after the fumble, Amani's pick.
Huge. I felt like that was one of those, like, okay, come on, man. And for Amani to be able to, and that defense, that's also that was a product of the way we were playing, and we were hitting them and playing aggressive, and so that was another product. That was just a great drive by him too, and huge play by Amani. And so that, I felt like, tilted it back in our favor, and then certainly next play we score. So that was huge.
Did you feel like that resilience has been building all year? I mean, the things that you went through earlier this year and doing it a couple times and maybe not sustaining it, that was the result of all.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think that's what you're trying to get. I mean, that's what we're trying to build around here, and I do think that those guys have bought into it, and I felt like they've bought into it all year. It's been that just what gets us over the edge. What's going to get us to that point where we start figuring it out and we can keep the momentum in our favor, and so we did it today. We executed the game plan perfectly. It was a great job by our coaches, man, putting it together. And then obviously just those players, man, stepping up and just not, I mean, they don't care, like they don't care. They don't care who we're playing. It's like, let's go. They're ready to go. And they believe, they have, and shoot, man, that's all you can ask for. As your players, man, as a coach, is just guys who want to come back and go to work, and they don't give a crap who we're playing. So I was proud of them.
Sorry about that. You mentioned off the top, just all 3 phases playing really, really well. But defensively, maybe just speak to the job Aaron did and the game plan that he and his defensive coaches put together. It's a pretty good offensive team that they scored their first touchdown until 5 minutes left in the game. The job that defense did overall and Aaron did his coaching staff.
Yeah, listen, look, you're not going to be hard for me to find the right words to speak of AG. Got a ton of respect for him, but he's once again put together a great game plan. We knew what we had to do. We needed to hit this guy. We needed to bottle him up. We needed to be aggressive on these receivers. And those guys did it. But AG, once again, man, he knows, he understands what we have to do every week, and his staff too. I think we've got a hell of a staff defensively, and those players know exactly what's expected and what's going to give them the best, the best odds to win or to shut down an offense or give us a chance to win, and they did it.
Did the defense almost have to play with no fear against a guy like that? Like you said, be aggressive. He can certainly burn you if you want it that way, but it looked like you guys just... Yeah,
that was throw caution to the wind. It's, that's one of those you either win or you lose by 50. And fortunately, it worked in our favor, but we knew we needed to be aggressive. And, you can't go timid against these guys, and you had to force them to play your game. If you play their game, you're going to be in trouble. And so we did that.
So what about the way Goff played today, like the bounce back game for him from
Yeah, listen, man, he made some outstanding throws today. My gosh, man, the first one to St. Brown was unbelievable. Just how he had to step up, release it quick, it's there. I mean, that's a heck of a play. The throw to Reynolds right before halftime, huge play. But he got us in the right play. I thought he maneuvered well. He took some hits. He bounced back. I thought he played outstanding. My gosh.
Were you worried about him when he went out with the knee injury?
No. He's pretty tough. I told him I appreciated the sacrifice to get us some personal fouls. It's what he sacrificed for the team. So.
You guys have put Will Harris in some tough spots over the last couple of weeks, having him play nickel first of all, and then today really outside the box and putting him in an outside cornerback spot. So why did you make that decision, and how do you feel like you responded?
Yeah, well, at first that was before we thought we were going to get Iffy back. Like, you don't even know what's going on. You think you get AJ's, our nickel, but you're trying to maneuver some of these, I mean, this is, as the game plan was being put together, that's when you learn that you just lost all your other corners. We just lost Nickel, you lost Motley, all these guys. And so now you're like, all right, what's going to give us the best opportunity? And we felt like, hey, let's give Will a shot. Will, safety to nickel, and for what we were going to try to do defensively, we're like, you know what, this would be good for him game plan wise. Let's see if he can go out there and play a little bit and let him be aggressive. And man, it's credit to him. And by the way, he is like, Coach, what do you need? AG, AP talked to him, and he's like, Coach, I'll do whatever you need. Let's go. And that's a credit to him.
I know that sometimes playing for pride feels like a bit of a cliche, but what kind of indication do you have that that's what these guys want to do or willing to do? I know you were saying play for yourself, play for the name on your back, and play for the guy next to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's, man, you have to go there. When you're where we're at this point of the season, and you kind of know you're out of the hunt, but when you appreciate and respect the guys you're around and your coaches and what's being told to you, and just knowing hey, this is where it is, these are the circumstances, I think that you make the most of the opportunity. You make the most of it. It is what it is, and those guys are there again. It goes back to we got the right guys. I mean, we really do. And as far as guys that you want character-wise and what they're made of, because we don't have guys that are worried about themselves or complaining about this, or it's somebody else's fault, or we don't have those guys. We have guys that are like, they just want results, and how can I help? And that always gives you a chance.
Hey, Dan, do you believe in a so-called statement win? And what message do you think this sends to the fan base when the 12.5-point dog?
No, I mean, look, I don't see statement win. Here's what I see. We knew we could win this game, and we feel like that every week. But we knew we could, but we knew we had to play a certain type of game, like any week. If we can execute the game plan. And so, no, you don't always, I mean, nobody thinks of it as like, well, we're going to win by 12. No, we knew to win this game it would be a dogfight. It was going to come down probably to the last possession. Well, it didn't this time, but I don't see it as a statement. I mean, this league, anybody can win, anybody can lose. But I know this, our guys were prepared, we were ready to go, and that was a good win.
And how impressed are you with the performance of Craig Reynolds, especially the first drive, set the tone early?
Yeah, Craig's done a good job. Craig, since day one, he's come in and he's come in and just done his job. It's all about intensity. It's all about focus, and he's just done a great job on scout team and just waited for his opportunity. And he's gotten 2 now back to back and showed up.
Just how much of it, you keep mentioning staying aggressive late in the first half. There, you get the stop down near the goal line, and then go 98, however many yards, and get the touchdown. Just how important was that drive, and why, I guess, did you feel the need to stay so aggressive in that moment? Yeah, I just, well, because look, that was one of the things we said we had to do and we needed to do. And so, you don't want to back off the gas. When you said you're going to do something, you got to do it, and that's an explosive offense. And so, even there before halftime, it's important that we get 7 and not 3. I just felt that way, and those guys knew it going into it, and we did. We had to be that way against this team.
Couple more guys competed in every game all year, but just talk about how completed the game you guys played as far as you ran the ball, you passed the ball, got stopped passing, rushing. Just talk about how completed the game you guys played today compared to some of the previous weeks.
No, I mean, well, it helps. We stayed in rhythm. Look, we got some third down conversions offensively. That keeps us on the field. Those are huge, particularly early. That's something we haven't been very good at. We were today. We were able to do those things. So we stay on the field and kind of make it our game. and then, you know, to be able to push the ball down the field, get some throws, those were big. And, you know, when you're able to get in a rhythm, get your quarterback in a rhythm, convert on third downs, offensively, you're going to open up your playbook. It'll help that, you know. And then defensively, for what they did, you know, we already talked about it. I mean, those guys were aggressive. We were able to bottle them up, pin them in, good coverage. And special teams did exactly what they needed to do today.
Two guys who were pretty instrumental in bottling them up, Jalen Reese-Maybe and Charles Harris.
It was good to get 44 back. It was real good to get him back. But yeah, Charles has been a relentless player for us all season long. He's a nuisance to quarterbacks, but he plays the run as well. He's a well-rounded, really defensive end, outside linebacker, if you will. So he really showed up. And I tell you what, listen, to do what we had to do today, you have to be unselfish as a rusher. You have to be, because if you're all about yourself and going after this guy, that's when he can make you look silly. He rolls out of the pocket, he breaks contain, and so those guys worked hand in hand. They knew. And so that's a credit to everybody up front, everybody involved in the rush plan.
Mike, last one.
Just one thing, the last 5 or 6 games you've been able to run the ball pretty much with whoever you face. How much of that is on the offensive line, and how much of it is on the scheme and play calling?
No, well, look, I give that to the O-line. You know, it's a credit to them and our tight ends and Cabinda. I mean, that's huge. And Nelson, our jumbo tight end. That's a credit to all those guys. And, you know, when you have guys like that and they play the way they play, it makes our job easy to scheme it up. A lot easier, I'd say. So, man, it makes your life a lot easier when you call them plays. I know that.
Last one, Justin. Cabinda's been your guy all year. Just to be able to call a play to get him a touchdown the first of his career, what that meant to you.
Yeah, it was good, man. Cabinda's one of those guys, like, he deserves one, man. He deserves a bone for all the dirty work he does, the special teams player he does, you know, that he is for us, and it was good. You know, I'm proud of him, and he is, man. He's a workhorse. Just does what he does. Doesn't say a word, doesn't complain.
This is what you envisioned, right? I mean, when you sat down this, running the way you did, playing defense the way you did, that's sort of the foundation, you know, of what you want to be.
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, I'd say it was a lot closer here, you know. Yeah, certainly. I mean, to be able to control it and feel like you have control of the game, and like I felt like that was more, they were playing our game, we weren't playing theirs, and that's what we needed to be able to do.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks.
Hey guys, we're gonna have Craig Reynolds in here and
We're going to scratch and claw and fight. And we're going to be something this city's proud of. We aren't just the Lions, we're the Detroit Lions. And we're driven by the best, by the people of this city. We are driven by Detroit.
Welcome back into Ford Field alongside Lomas Brown. I'm Dannie Rogers. The Arizona Cardinals coming on the road, undefeated at 7-0, tied for one of the best records in the National Football League. And the Detroit Lions, frankly, didn't care.
Right.
I mean, the stats will show for themselves, especially in fourth down and red zone conversion points. Looking at them now, the Lions holding those Cardinals to just 1 for 3 on fourth down. 0 for 4 in the red zone. How much did those stats make an impact today?
Oh, it's so impressive. Those stats, they pretty much tell the story of today. Even when Arizona was threatening us, the defense stood strong, Danny. They kept them from getting third downs when they needed them. They kept them from scoring and getting fourth downs when they tried to convert them. The defense played on all 3 levels, the front line, the linebackers, the safeties, and the cornerbacks. They played very well. They played disciplined today, and they really, really did a good job of putting a lot of pressure on Kyler Murray and really forcing forcing him to hurry up his reads, hurry up his throws. And that's what you have to do against a great quarterback like that, and especially a quarterback that can scramble the way he can. I thought they did a phenomenal job of rushing him, keeping him in the pocket, and really harassing him today.
Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray, who you're referring to, a very mobile quarterback, he was forced to throw 41 times today. Why was the defense able to affect him so much? And I'm talking namely about Charles Harris, who we have a post-game interview coming up. You'll get to hear from him.
Thank you. And you're right. That one-man wrecking crew himself. I mean, he was coming off the edges. And Danny, when you rush a guy like that, you have to rush him a certain way because, again, he's so athletic. He can spin out and get around your contain. I thought they rushed him with contain, and then I thought the front guys pushed the pocket when they had to. So really, Kyler had nowhere to go. He was trapped. It was like being in a phone booth. And that's what you have to do with good players like that. They harass them all day long. And you can see in the fourth quarter, it really took an effect on him.
It did. Kyler Murray came out of this game, backup quarterback. Colt McCoy had to come in this one because the Cardinals didn't find the end zone until the fourth quarter. It was the former Detroit Lion, Matt Prater, kicking field goals to get these Cardinals on the board. I mean, an impressive day for the defense. Is there a play that sticks out to you the most?
Probably, I would think Amon played well today. He did. He had a couple of big plays. Charles Harris, like we said, but Jalen Reeves-Maven, he was all over the field today. You heard his name an awful lot today, and that's good, especially playing in space against some of those skill position players that Arizona brought in here today. So just so impressed, Danny. I really am. This is the best effort that we've seen out of the Detroit Lions and Detroit Lions defense all year long.
Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn let us know this past week in pressers he was not happy or impressed by anything that this defense did against the Denver Broncos on the road. Of course, the defense had taken some hits due to COVID-19 and some injury. So for them to bounce back, and I talked to Charles Harris, the outside linebacker, after the game. He said he saw a lot of growth today. How much is this very young defense under Coach Glenn growing?
So think about this, Danny. You had guys missing for COVID. You had guys missing for the flu. You did a lot of things virtually. You had guys that missed practice. So think about all that. We're creatures of habits. We want things to be just like this each and every time. And when something's out of whack, it kind of throws you out of whack. So proud of the guys for being able to maintain, doing some of the adjustments that they had to make, but they maintained what they had to get done today on this field, and they were able to do it. So you give the Lions coaching staff a lot of credit, but you give the players a lot of credit for coming out here and executing the game plan.
Defensive back Amon-Ra St has maintained that laser vision the entire season. If I tell you someone on this Detroit team has an interception, who's your guess?
Oh, it's Amon.
It's Amon. Comes up with
down.
his 6th interception on the season. One big one today in the third quarter, right after running back Godwin Igwebuike fumbled that ball.
Yes.
And a Lions team before this might have given up.
Great point.
Amon-Ra St goes in, gets that interception, and then guess what happens on the next play?
We scored.
Lions offense scores.
There you go. But you are so right. The past Lions team, they might have folded, Danny, but you have guys that are willing to step up and make plays, and Amani stepped up and make a play, and then the rest of the team feeds off of that. Us offensive linemen, everybody feeds off of good plays, especially when your guys go out there and make them, and it just feeds you into going back out on that field and doing what you have to do to uphold your end of the bargain. I thought the O-line played well. I thought Jared played well. I thought the receivers played. But you know what? I thought the offense played well as a whole.
You were transitioning to my next point. How much did what the defense was able to do out there take some pressure off of the offense?
A lot of pressure. And you remember we had been hearing about Dan Campbell saying that he put a lot of onus on the defense. I'm sorry, on this offense. Yes, he had put a lot on his offense
and
because
we weren't
the defense.
Sure why at first.
Exactly. Now we can kind of see, Danny, because the defense can play at a certain level, but they need help. They need to be able to come off and rest themselves, make adjustments that they have to make. The only way they can do it is if the offense keeps the ball, keeps grinding out first downs, and keep Kyler Murray and that explosive offense on the sideline, which they did today.
And that's what they did. Jared Goff in this offense able to muster out 9 minutes on their opening drive. That means 9 minutes Kyler Murray was not able to go to work on the offensive side for the Arizona Cardinals. Looking at quarterback Jared Goff, 81% completion on the day, 216 yards. I mean, he only attempted it 26 times, I think is the last time I saw. And Coach Campbell says you don't want a quarterback attempting 41 times. So it looks like Jared Goff in this offense is doing exactly what Coach Campbell needs them to do.
Absolutely, Danny. You want to, if you're a good offense, you want to possibly run the ball a lot more than you throw the ball. That's a great stat. If you can keep your quarterback in the 20s and have success running the ball the way they did, eating up the clock, that's a successful day on the offensive side of the ball. So you don't want Jared having to drop back and get in harm's way any more than he had to. I thought the offensive line, again, I keep repeating myself, but those big fellas up front, you got to provide protection. You got to open the hole for the running back. And those big guys, they work. They work today. They deserve it. They deserve massages. They deserve anything they want today because they went to work today.
I'm sure their quarterback will take care of them. Jared Goff, he had 8 touchdowns weeks 1 through 11. Then come out 12 through 15, 10 touchdowns.
Kicking butt, huh?
That's a good way to put it.
That is.
How has he been able to kick butt in these last few weeks?
Well, you remember me and you talked about the tight ends coach now involved more in the passing
Coach
game.
Ben Johnson, yes.
Absolutely. Coach Campbell involved a little bit more. And ever since you've seen those two guys get more involved, the offense seemed to have made a 180-degree turn. Again, those guys are maintaining drives. They're doing what they have to do. And the play design, I love the play design on a lot of the plays that they're running. So I just think overall right now, this offense is playing at a high level right now with the defense playing at a certain level too. They could be dangerous these last 3 games.
They were dangerous against the Cardinals today, and it seems as though this Detroit Lions team has subtracted more than it's added. So for you to say the high level that they're playing at, I mean, you don't have running back DeAndre Swift in there. You didn't have running back Jamal Williams. TJ Hawkinson is on IR after getting surgery on his hand, but you did add Josh Reynolds there midway. You have Craig Reynolds. Mylanta, running back Craig Reynolds, over 100 yards on the ground, back-to-back games of 75-plus yards. How impactful is that 5th-string running back?
Danny, if he keeps that up, I'm going to get him a subscription to Netflix, okay? He won't have to, I'm going to take care of that for him if he keeps running the ball
Tell the
that he's
people
running.
why. Tell the people why.
Hey, look, you know, because this young man, look, it's when you got a young guy that hadn't had a lot of reps, hadn't had a lot of reps in camp, hadn't had a lot of reps during the season, but comes in and the vision that he showed, the way he's able to hit those holes hard as he hits them going downhill. He's even able in the pass protection. He's giving Jared Goff protection back there. He's just doing it all right now. And it's shocking to me that you could step in almost in the middle of a season and really be as productive as he has been when he's given his opportunities. So, man, I think he's going to be a great addition for this team, not now, but even going forward too, Danny.
You've got to give Reynolds a look after this season.
Hands down.
5th-string running back. And you call him Netflix because before he was picked up for the Lions squad, he was on his couch watching Netflix in the preseason. Comes into that Indianapolis Colts game and scores a touchdown after being on the team for less than a day. He said he had met most of his teammates in that touchdown huddle. So what a season Craig Reynolds is having now that DeAndre Swift has been out for a few weeks. Jamal Williams has been out for a couple of weeks now. It's just really impressive. And looking at the other targets there today, Amon-Ra St. the rookie, continues to deliver.
Yes.
He got the Lions on the board today with the first score. 11 targets today, 8 receptions for 90 yards. How consistent is the rookie right now?
Oh, he is very consistent, and he was big in that first half, Danny. I almost thought we was going to have to pull out the record books at the pace that he was going, catching balls, but he's been so well. And the thing he does well is he just presents such a nice target to Jared Goff because of his route running. He runs some precise routes. That's what's getting him open. That's what's giving him that cushion between himself and the defensive back. And anytime you got cushion like that, it helps the quarterback because the window the quarterback has to throw the ball in is so much wider. So he's doing a great job. Reynolds, the other wide receiver, he's doing a great job too. The LA connection that him and Jared got. So you can kind of see things starting to take hold, starting to formulate a little bit. They're starting to form it up a little bit there, Danny.
Okay, let's hear from Craig Netflix Reynolds, who is standing by at the podium right now.
100-yard game, just how great of a feeling is this?
I mean, first off, I got to thank God, for sure. I wouldn't be without him. He's been along with me this whole time on this journey. My teammates, I love those guys, man. They have my back since day one when I first got here. You know, everybody was asking my name and stuff. So I appreciate those guys. I love this team, man, and I definitely wouldn't be here without them. The O-line, tight ends, receivers blocking their tail off all game, man. And that's what we just wanted to come out and do. We just wanted to run the football, make it, you know, our kind of game, tough physical game, and that's what we try to do for 4 quarters.
On the toughness factor, when was the last time you handled 26 carries in a game?
Shoot, probably like college, which was like 3 years ago. So it's definitely new, but it's a blessing having the opportunity. And the coaching staff and my teammates having the faith in me to, you know, get the ball that many times. And like I said, I wouldn't be without God, my teammates, the O-line, man. It was fun. It was a fun game.
Will that be a good sore tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll be a good score. It'll be a good score.
You said you wanted to make it our kind of game. When did you guys figure out what your kind of game is?
I mean, it's been kind of all season. You know, we want to run the football. Great defense. Our special teams unit is phenomenal. And just play tough, gritty. I mean, shoot, we got grit on the wall in our building. And that's just, you know, it comes down from the head coach to the staff to the players. Just wanting to be physical. That's really it.
Can you speak to the mindset of this team a little bit, though? I mean, looking at it based off record, obviously, it seems like nobody's really caring about that. You guys want to play. You guys not worried about picks or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Speak to that mindset being inside the locker room. Like, how are guys right now finishing the season?
It's great. It's definitely a brotherhood in the locker room. You know, I said last week, I love this team. I've been on other teams before, but this is the most tight-knit group. And, you know, we all play for each other, man. And we go out there, we work every day at practice. We hold each other accountable. You know, we don't care about the record. We don't care about the week before. We're just trying to attack every day and move on to the next week and control what we can.
There was a couple times where you got banged up in this game. The knee on the one down by your goal line.
Mm-hmm.
You're holding your side a little bit there late in the game. I mean, how important was it for you to show that you could finish this one as well?
I mean, it's just, you know, playing running back, it's a part of it. Nothing serious, nothing crazy. I think I just caught like either a knee to knee or a helmet to the knee. Like, you know, like you guys play basketball. You ever like catch knees with somebody? It was like that. Just need to walk it off. Nothing serious. But, you know, just those guys having my back. Godwin, Jamar, appreciate those guys having my back. And, yeah, it was nothing serious, nothing too bad.
Craig, was this what you envisioned when you were given your opportunity in this game?
I just wanted to, first of all, just go out there and win. That's the most important thing, whatever it took. I mean, if they said we were going to throw the ball however many times, shoot, doesn't matter. I'm going to protect, I'm going to run the routes, I'm going to do whatever it takes. Jared did a great job leading us. He played a tough game. I give him so much props. The O-line, man, they dug in. They were physical all day. Wouldn't be out without them, excuse me. It was just a great team win. Defense balled. Special teams did a great job. It was just such a collective team win. And I'm happy because we won, but I'm happy as a group, us winning, and those guys in the locker room and the coaching staff, you know, appreciate that.
You mentioned that last week, how hungry you were for a win.
Mm-hmm.
So something you hadn't tasted in a game where you were at it for so long. To get that in and to contribute the way you did, just the feeling of getting that win.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. Like you said last week, yeah, it stung a little bit. It feels good. Yeah, that was my first real career, like, regular season win to be a part of, and it's fun to go out there with a group of guys like that. We were locked in all week at practice, and just wanted to come out there and just leave it all out there.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Craig.
Appreciate you.
Kabinda next in here.
Craig Reynolds saying he has not carried the ball that much since college, which was a few years ago back at Kutztown in Pennsylvania. We're learning that there's a spotlight, Kutztown University. I believe that's what it's called. Craig Reynolds coming out of there, being able to carry the ball 26 times, over 100 yards on the ground. And it was just him doing things on the offense. Quarterback Jared Goff as well. He's at the podium. Let's hear from him.
Alrighty.
Is that about as rewarding as it gets just because of the way all three phases really participated?
Yeah, a full team win. All the times we've talked about, you know, this whole year, what it looks like, that's what it looks like. You know, we make a mistake, we have a fumble, Amon-Ra makes an interception, almost takes it back to the house. We score on the next play. That's how good teams win in this league, and we put it on display in all 3 phases today.
I know you don't like to make things about you, but I just wanted to talk about the drive at the end of the first half.
Thank you.
Took a couple roughing the passer hits. The second one, you have to leave the game. You come back in. I think maybe that's the loudest I've heard of the crowd. Reception for you to go out and finish the drive the way you did. Just how important was that whole sequence for you and for this game?
Yeah, it was important for us to win the game. It was cool to be able to come back in and finish that drive. I think I've up to this point I've learned, you can't play quarterback in this league if you aren't going to be able to fight through a little bit of, not injury, but pain, I guess. Especially for this team in this city, it's important to be that guy. And yeah, knee hurts a little bit, but I'll be all right.
Amon-Ra, you keep asking about week after week, just to grow on confidence.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a stud. I'll say it again. He's a stud. He's a stud. We've known it since training camp. Finally getting him involved quite a bit now. I thought the route on the touchdown is just so perfect. It's such a unique route that only some guys can run, and you have to have a good feel for the space and the game. And he has all that. We had him on a few choice routes today, and we're constantly talking on the sidelines. He's really starting to learn. He's really starting to pick it up and understand coverage and understand where the holes are, and it's really fun to play with him.
Jared, especially since your oblique injury and then Campbell took over the play call, have you grown more and more and more, seemingly by the week, comfortable?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, and our offense has as well. I mean, obviously, I'm able to be a product of that, but a lot of the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, and a lot of the game planning, and a lot of the ideas, and just the practice habits that we've developed over the last however many weeks, handful of weeks. I hope you guys have seen that it's different, right? It looks different. It should be a little bit crisper. It should be a little bit sharper. The details are emphasized quite a bit now, and it's been fun to be a part of the change and to hopefully be at the forefront of that and leading that.
What is the biggest thing that changed? Just the passage of time, or different emphasis on
like I said, it's practice habits. It's game plan. It's who's getting involved in the game plan. It's what we want to do, and again at the same time though, like we don't score 30 points if our defense doesn't play like they did today. So it's we did do good things on offense today, but we had short fields. We had the interception down to the 5-yard line. We had consistently short fields. We had 3 and outs, and that's complementary football and typically leads to wins in this league.
Can you speak to the job the offensive line has done really all year? You don't have to have half the season. You lose Ragnow, Kramer steps in, Evans steps in. It seems like that's been really a steady spot all year, despite all the changeover. Just the job those guys have done.
Yeah, the next man up thing it's true, man. It really has been true with those guys, and obviously Evan's been in there for a while now, and I feel great with him. But thought he had a great game. Thought Tommy played well. I thought Decker had one of his best games. Chandler Jones is a hell of a player, and he played well, really well all day. Panay obviously played well, and Big V played well too. So it was a full team effort, and I think all year those guys have kind of taken it upon themselves to be the kind of engine for us, and today they were, and specifically in the run game, you guys saw it all day long. Craig making plays, and those guys working together well.
I think one of the things we really like about Dan is his honest reflection of how he's feeling in the moment. He said after Godwin's fumble, it was kind of this, oh no, here we go again, and then Amani comes up with a big play.
Right.
And I'm just wondering from your perspective, the offense's perspective, how huge of a momentum changer is that whole sequence?
That's what winning teams do. That's what good teams do. If you look around the league at teams, you call it points off turnovers is a good stat to look at. And do you score when your team gets a turnover, and vice versa? Do you stop the team when the offense makes a turnover? And we had the best of both worlds there. Unfortunately, Godwin had the fumble, but Amani having the interception and bringing it all the way back down there, that's how you win games. That's how you shift the momentum. That's how you make big plays. And Amani's been kind of making them all year, and it's been exciting to see him grow too.
And how important was it to just get Kabinda involved in getting the touchdown? I believe somebody said you snatched the ball for him after the play.
Yeah, I've had a handful of first touchdowns this year, which has been fun to go grab that ball and bring it back to those guys. So we talked all week. We had a lot of stuff up in the red zone for him specifically, and we're like, man, you're going to catch your first one this week. You're going to catch your first one, and sure enough, that got called, and it was him, scoring, and I think he spiked it and did his little dance, and I'm like, we need to get that ball for you. But it was fun to see him get his first one, and he's been so consistent, man, all year. He's been, kind of that energy guy and that relying factor at fullback that we can rely on, also playing a little bit of tight end and doing so many things for us on and off the field and being able to be that leader that we've needed.
You're strengthening your love again.
Say that again?
And this year strengthening your love again, because obviously you had a rough rookie season, but you had so much success in LA. I mean, so how you see how tough it is to get a win, man. Like, this year it all strengthened your love for football, like just knowing all you got to go through to get a win.
Yeah, it tests you. It really does. You say you love it until you lose however many in a row we lost, right? And then it's hard to continue to, but you do because you do love it. And yeah, I think it does test you, and in that way it has strengthened it, right? You learn how hard it is to win, and then you win a game like today against arguably the best team in the league, and on paper we don't match up with them. On paper we don't have on defense we had Will Harris playing corner, and I don't know what they did on him, but I would imagine it wasn't much. Brady Breeze just got here playing safety a little bit. You got Anzalone goes out, and he's one of our better players. You got Craig Reynolds playing running back. You got Jamar Jefferson playing running back. Tommy Craven's playing guard. Like, it's next man up, and it's the idea of it doesn't matter who's out there. We've got a good coaching staff that we believe in, and a good fight to us that allows us to win games like this. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but I kind of think in there.
Yeah, I think last year in a TV interview you said, somebody said, what did you learn about yourself this year? And I think you said tougher than I thought.
Yeah.
Is that evidence of it today, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, today's the fun part about it, for sure, but you got to fight through some of those dark times to get there. And yeah, it's been obviously a long year for all of us with the Lions, but days like today make it all worth it to put that extra time in and do all the right things. And what would make it even more worth it is if we were able to finish these last 3 games off the right way and go into the offseason going, okay, we did some things there, and we can have a little bit of confidence coming into next season.
This may be tough. I apologize if someone asked this, but you take a couple big shots early, you knocked out the game very briefly to get the response from the fans.
Yeah.
How meaningful was that?
Yeah, it was cool. That was cool for sure. I definitely heard them, but it was more important to finish that drive with a score, and to get the touchdown to Josh there. I thought it was a great catch. I thought our guys blocked their tails off all day, and it was fun to finish that off there at the end of the first half and get another score.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you.
We call that Amon-Ra St touchdown like a dragging up.
You typically call it like a sneak, like. I'm trying to think what we called it in LA. Like it's like he's selling like a shallow, and then he kind of just goes up the backside.
Come on, let the quarterback go. He wants to go home and eat some food and celebrate. I mean, an awesome performance from Jared Goff, and it was really set up by this defense that made Kyler Murray uncomfortable the entire time, allowed that offense from the Detroit Lions to go out and do its thing. Charles Harris on the defensive front. I mean, 3 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks. This is his 5th year in the league, and I talked to him earlier this season. He said a big point for him is making sure the younger guys know what they're doing on the field. How much does it help having a leader like Charles Harris out there?
Oh, it's just great, especially if you're a young guy, somebody that you can look at, somebody you can emulate your game after. The thing I love about him is he's a hustler. Mm-hmm. This guy's hustling whether the play is coming at him or away from him. Charles Harris is going to try to get into the action. I think he rushes the quarterback very well. I would hate to be an offensive tackle trying to line up against him just because of his pure outside pass rush that he uses. So he's a guy that deserves all the accolades that he can get because he has been balling the last few weeks, Danny.
Charles Harris, the outside linebacker, player of the game because he just kept making play after play. Even when you thought he was done, look out. There's Charles Harris again, making another play. Really impressive. To bottle Kyler Murray up like that, how difficult is it?
And you just seen he was the only one on Kyler, and that's difficult. Like you say, you normally see guys trying to gang tackle a guy like him, but look at that. And just the speed that Charles has to be able to keep up with a guy like Kyler Murray, man, it's just so impressive, man. He was just all over that field today, and not just him. The rest of that defense was too, but he really stood out in the defense that played well today.
And the defense had to be without linebacker Alex Anzalone and then Josh Woods, who also went down. Both of them with shoulder injuries and were out for the game. Okay, I got to speak with Charles Harris after the game. Ooh, a lot of emotion. Great interview. Here it is with Charles Harris. Charles, this Arizona team comes in undefeated on the road, averaging just under 29 points a game. What was the key to making that offense so uncomfortable today?
Really just doing our job as a defense. Our coach has drew up a great plan to be able to contain the quarterback, stop the run, and get to the quarterback. The coach had a great plan, and everybody on defense we just executed and just doing our job for real, just trusting one another and knowing we're the underdogs. We got to do everything right, all the little things right, and that's what we came out here and did today.
Your role on this team is to affect the quarterback. You did that today. 2 quarterback hits, 1.5 sacks. What was the key to getting to Kyler Murray today?
Really just being relentless, knowing that he's going to scramble, knowing sometimes he's a great player, he's a great, very agile individual, so knowing that sometimes you might miss, but keeping that motor going and everybody doing their job, staying in their rush lanes, and just constantly, relentlessly chasing after them. And that's what we did today.
You told me earlier in this season, the more this defense grows, you guys can just play off of each other. You don't have to go by the playbook. How much growth have you seen?
Just a lot, especially individual players, young guys stepping up. Unfortunately, we had a series of injuries happen to us over the year, and nobody looking back. And everybody just stepping up, doing their job. And I'm proud of all the young guys on the team, older guys, guys in the middle. Proud of everybody, proud of this defense, and just proud to be aligned.
It's been said that this team is cut from the same cloth as your head coach, Dan Campbell. What does that mean?
Straight up grit. Just never backing down. You might get knocked down, but you're going to get back up. And just never quitting. Relentlessly just getting back up no matter what.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
There it is, Charles Harris, knowing his role down to the very foundation of it, affecting the quarterback, and he did that today. We cannot forget the play of the game, though. Coming in the second quarter, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the rookie, hauls in a big touchdown pass against Minnesota here at home, so it only makes sense for him to do it in another win at home. The rookie showing up so big as of late. And the timing, that is what his coaches are saying. The timing of his route running and Jared Goff being able to trust him more is what's really leading to this big offensive output from the rookie.
Yeah, Danny, I'm telling you, I said it upstairs, man. This guy runs some precise routes. And with him running routes as well as he does, that's what gets him that open window so the quarterback could get the ball to him. Jared did a nice job of kind of avoiding the rush that time, buying a little time to let Amon-Ra St. Brown get downfield, and he dropped the dime on him. So you can see the chemistry slowly but surely coming around with those guys, and it's great to see because he needs that security blanket. He needs somebody that he could count on to be where they need to be at, and he could get the ball to them.
That was a 37-yard touchdown dime from Jared Goff to give the Lions the 10-0 lead, and then Josh Reynolds goes in there and catches a 22-yard touchdown pass right after.
Dimes.
Just a bunch of momentum.
Dimes. I mean, Jared is, Danny, again, he stuck his chest out. You could just see the confidence just growing in Jared Goff. And some of the throws that he made today, they were on point. Now, Kyler had a couple of throws that I was like, wow, I couldn't. But Jared was on point all day today. And it's good to see because, again, a lot of criticism early in the year about him dumping the ball down. But now you can see his eyes looking downfield to try to get the ball downfield. His guys are getting open, and he's delivering it.
All right, Amon-Ra, 11 targets today for 8 receptions, 90 yards. Let's hear from the wide receiver postgame.
3 straight games where lots of targets, lots of catches. This one obviously has to feel good because you get the win behind it as well too. And just the kind of roll and rhythm you're on with Jared right now seems to be pretty hot.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, having a game like that, coming out with a big win against a good team, definitely feels better than having stats and not losing. And losing. So, it's nice. It's nice to have catches and whatnot. But I think the biggest thing for our team was that win against a really good Cardinals team. We knew coming in, high potent offense that can score really quick, as you guys saw out there. Once they get in a roll, they're start moving the ball pretty quick. And as an offense, I think we played one of our best games. Didn't turn the ball over too much. We had that one fumble, not too many penalties. stayed on course for the most part, and yeah, you see what happens.
Take us through the touchdown.
That was a play that we just put in this week, actually. Basically like a little sneak at the, how do I explain it? I'm blocking down on one of the ends, take the defense off of me when they're not really paying attention, and it works perfect in zone because, they carry in zone, so they took that over route on the left side, and then, I snuck out the side, and Jared threw a great ball.
I don't know if you looked at the film on that one afterward. I mean, he was under quite a bit of pressure. I mean, for him to stand in the pocket and navigate that and to make the throw he did, how impressive was that?
That was really impressive. I didn't know he was actually under that much duress until after I came to the sideline. They're like, you're supposed to hit him a little longer or hold it a little longer. But I was ready to try to score. So I kind of left the block a little too early. But Jared, he stepped up great, made a great throw. I didn't even know he did that until after I got to the sideline. So that was pretty impressive.
So early in the season, a couple times, Dan mentioned I want to get Amon-Ra the ball more and feed him more, and it just was developing. Now 3 weeks in a row, it's kind of a trend, and they even got you running out of the backfield a little bit. Like, what is your confidence level right now with your role within this offense?
I'm really confident right now. I think, confidence is one of the biggest things in this sport. There's guys out there that can play, but their confidence level isn't just up there. So I think confidence is huge, and my confidence is high right now. And I'm gonna keep going with it. Keep doing what they want me to do. Keep making plays and keep getting these W's.
You feel this like right now, just this time as well. You entered the season, the receiving course was the number one question. Who's going to step up? Who's going to do this and that? For you to do this at this point, how fulfilling is that as well, knowing that was considered one of the weak spots of the team, the receivers as well?
I think it's really fulfilling, like you said. I don't really read all the media, but obviously, you hear some of it. You can't get away from it. Like you said, the receiving core was a problem, this, that, and the other. But we knew as a group, we knew we can play. We knew we can, make the plays. And I think it was just a culmination of everyone getting together, quarterbacks, everyone being on time. Just everything as a group, limiting penalties. There's so much that goes into it. And as you guys can see, once we do things right, it starts to click.
Could you just explain, when they do line you up in the backfield a handful of times today, what does that allow you to do? How does that help you get free? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, so when they put me in the backfield, it puts me on a linebacker if they're in a certain personnel and defense. So depending on what personnel they're in, we run certain plays off of that. And so when they put me in the backfield, they just, they like matching me up with a linebacker. They feel like I can win that one-on-one. And, they gave me a little draw today because, we were, I think, 100% pass when I was in the backfield. So gave me a little draw, threw the defense off. But, it's fun. I love doing everything.
Can you see the impact the addition of Josh has had for you? It just seems like now that he's kind of fully rolling the offense, it's opened up, I guess, your game. I'm just wondering if you could see that on film or feel that on film, how you're playing off of him.
Yeah, definitely. Josh he's been doing great for us, as you guys can see. Long receiver, tall. Obviously, he has a history with Jared. They know each other back from the Rams, so probably I'm going to say that helps a little. But, chemistry is huge, like I said earlier, and they have that chemistry. And I think it only helps everyone, like you said, helps all of us get open, helps the running backs, break free if they're playing different coverage. So I think everything just works hand in hand.
That touchdown, if you guys just put that one in this week, how'd that come about and play with? Who drew that up? Where did it come from?
I think Ben Johnson drew it up. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But, he was the one that installed it to us. So I'm pretty sure. I'm guessing it was him. Yeah.
How much, between Brock Wright's touchdown a couple weeks ago and the Khalif touchdown where he ran behind the line and kind of hit, it seems like the creativity has really picked up in the offense. Have you guys noticed that? And I guess what kind of, does that provide energy, I guess, knowing that you guys are constantly looking for new and inventive ways to kind of attack defenses as the season progresses?
Definitely. Us as receivers, we love that. You ask any one of us, we love the creativity. We feel like, we want more of it. If I'm being honest, we want more creativity. We love it all. Obviously, some stuff might be too much, so you can't do everything. But we love the creativity, like you said. The touchdown that Khalif had, the one that I had today. It's plays that's really hard to guard as a defense because you don't see it much, and when it does come, it's hard to defend. So we love the creativity, and we love what's going on right now.
Sounds to me like you're pushing to maybe throw a pass here coming up.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That's all we got.
Thanks, sir. Get some NIL money for that.
Lomas, I have a feeling you don't hate when Amon-Ra St. Brown is lined up in the backfield. Give us those linebacker matchups. Let's go.
And it makes so much sense. And again, what he said, and it even makes sense to give him a run every now and then, because like he was saying, every time he's been back in the backfield, they've been throwing it 100% of the time. So they gave him a run just to throw the tendencies off a little bit. So it's just smart. Match him up with a linebacker. I'll take that any and all day long.
Before we get to the final takeaways, we cannot forget the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. Fullback / superback Jason Kambinda goes in there and scores his first career touchdown today in the third quarter to really give this Lions an extra boost when it comes to just laying it on the Cardinals today. What'd you see out of that superback who can do just about everything?
Man, I love Jason. I do, man. He does all the dirty work, and I'm glad they rewarded him with getting him a touchdown, because that's the guy that blocks linebackers. He blocks D linemen. He blocks anybody you want him to block. He does all the little dirty work. So why not just throw him a little something every now and then? So I was glad to do that, and I'm also proud of him for being named the Walter Payton recipient, or one of the nominees for the Walter Payton, because that shows me that not only does he do stuff on the field, but off the field, he's so involved in the community, and that's a great thing.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Final takeaways from today.
My final takeaway, yay, we got a victory. Yay, we won. It's number 2. Again, going up against a very good team in Arizona, a team that's trying to get the number 1 seed, or was trying to get the number 1 seed in the NFC, team that came off of a loss, so you know they had to be desperate, but the Lions just came out full go this whole game, played so hard the whole 60 minutes, and that's what we look for, a team to compete for 60 minutes. Proud of the guys.
Lions are going to need to do that again, week 16, a full 60 minutes, going up against the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta
ATL
on the day after Christmas. So our butts will be on planes Christmas Day. Send hugs to anyone you know in the NFL. We're probably on planes on Christmas Day. What is your first thought when you see this Lions-Falcons matchup?
Well, the thing about it is, again, they got a very good quarterback in Matt Ryan. So, again, getting pressure on Matt Ryan. They got a very good tight end. So they have some weapons over there. I just think the thing for us is to play error-free football, meaning penalties, eliminate the penalties, eliminate the turnovers, keep the drives going. Can we take this game plan and take this to Atlanta with us next week? Can we do that, Danny?
No, because the Falcons are going to know exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
What are you doing? We're going to switch it up, okay? I don't need to tell you that, Lomas Brown. I'm Danny Rogers. We're closing out here. Week 15 is a wrap. Lions getting a huge home victory over the Arizona Cardinals and squashing that undefeated record on the road. Okay, we will see you next week in Atlanta. Week 16, Lions taking on those Falcons. See you there.